The Three Musicians, a children's book inspired by Pablo Picasso. The beast was terrifying, a wolf, some said, but a monstrous wolf, bigger and stronger than a fighting bull. In the kingdom of Mirador, few had seen the beast in the flesh, few had faced it, but all, young and old, knew its name, a name full of menace, and all, from the least courageous to the bravest, trembled when they heard Firemouth. This name was all that King Minos of Mirador would talk about. Firemouth here, Firemouth there. Firemouth had swallowed another calf, devoured 2 lambs, flayed 3 horses, without a single bone left behind. Do you understand? By Jove, we must hunt Firemouth down. King Minos could only think of one thing, the beast. Nothing else could hold his interest. Neither knowledge nor nature, not even love, nada. For him, all that mattered was Firemouth. If you let the beast do what it pleases, one day it will come and devour your children right out of your arms. Yikes! Those speeches were scary. Yet, instead of watching out day and night, instead of keeping a weapon at hand, of always marching in step, many subjects of the kingdom would have liked, once in a while, to think of something else. And so, as it turned out, one bright April morning, 4 strange silhouettes appeared in the city. They slipped into the streets, filled with joy, drawing the mark of their 4 mysterious profiles on the sad and bare walls. When the king's bells chimed at 10 o'clock, one of the odd characters gallantly addressed the crowd in the middle of the town square. Hear ye, good people," he cried out in a bold and almost sing-song voice. "Many thanks for your hospitality. Here are my companions, Pierrot and Capuchin. My name is Harlequin, and here is Cocopad, named for his chocolate coat. We are saltimbancos, musicians, comedians, jugglers, and a circus dog. We come to entertain you. What tune would you like to hear?" Passers-by had gathered, clearly suspicious but intrigued. Windows had opened, and eventually every balcony was filled with onlookers. But still the crowd remained silent. "Come, what dance would you like to do? Don't be shy. A slow sarabande or a wild farandole? A crazy fandango or a distinguished tango? Or perhaps you would rather have a sanguedilla or a flamenco from Seville?" At last someone spoke up. "Forgive us, we never dance since the beast arrived, Firemouth. We live in fear and no longer have the heart to dance." Tongues loosened, and the people began to talk about the calves, the lambs, the horses, and one day perhaps the children. Others spoke of rounds, spears, halberds, and of this monster which would not show its face. "My friends," answered Harlequin, "you are trying to face the beast, to hunt it, to kill it, in vain. But have you thought of taming it? Let's try to charm it. Who knows? Perhaps Firemouth will respond to music. And so the acrobats got to work. The tune is Passacalgia. Sing, dance, have some fun. It was a great success. While the three musicians were playing, Cocopod pretended to be the beast, frightening and ferocious, with all these arpeggios, trills, and tremolos. It slowly began to soften until finally it was wiggling on his back, asking to be petted. People were laughing until their sides ached. What a show! From that day on, life in the kingdom of Mirador changed. People learned to sing, to dance, and to speak openly of their fears, their happiness, and all those things that make the heart beat faster. They soon saw that outside, the spade had replaced the spear, and they saw young sprouts shooting up from the rocks, and green oases added color in the scenery. Then, in the coolness of the gardens, came the time of courtship. People gave each other flowers, recited poems, and exchanged kisses. As for Firemouth, no one heard of him. Arg! This does not please me at all, stormed, grumbled, and growled the king in his palace. What a bunch of idiots. So they're not scared anymore? They won't listen? They'd rather fool around with those three characters and their nasty dog? Minos of Mirador thought he was a clever man. I have a great idea that will put everything back in order. One night, his ferocious bodyguards captured Cocopod, knocked out a bull, and then smeared red paint like blood on one's mouth and the other's throat. Ha 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 ha! So you enjoy a good show? Sniggered the contemptuous king to himself. Well then, let's see what you think of this one. The sun had just risen when the alarm was raised. The bull lay in the middle of town square. The news spread faster through the streets than a flame on a long wick. Oh no! Firemouth has struck again. Will we never know peace? Then King Minos appeared, raising his chin and looking superior. He felt triumphant. Behind him, in a dreadful iron cage, his guards dragged in the poor and terrified Cocopod. People trembled in fear. Can it be? The circus dog? Firemouth finally unmasked? The beast certainly had us fooled. Where are its masters? They deceived us. Let's arrest them, judge them, punish them. People felt betrayed, and their anger was rising. All of a sudden, in the midst of this furious brouhaha, rose a young girl's voice, clear and wise. She was standing at the edge of a window and holding up a metal pot dripping with red paint. I saw everything. Cocopod isn't guilty. It's a trick. Look, this isn't blood, it's paint. Confused, the people didn't know what to believe. That is, until the bull woke up. It's alive, but then... So the king is the one who lied? What happened next still makes people laugh today. The bull rose to its feet in a fury and charged at Minos and his guards. No need to say how quickly they snatched up their things and fled from sight. From that day on, this hilarious scene has been played each year in the town square on the Feast of Mirador, which is no longer a kingdom. Minos, you have learned at your own expense that putting on a show is an art that, alas, you cannot improvise. Sing Harlequin, Pierrot, and Capuchin, while Cocopod collects all the hurrahs and the bravos, perhaps even, who knows, those of a music-loving, charmed, and enchanted Firemouth. And this is The Three Musicians by Pablo Picasso, painted in 1921. You can see this in the Museum of Modern Art in New York.